is key, and it may be the decisive factor here. Early moments important for Davy Prins. Big challenge ahead for Robert Thornton. I'm pleased to say I'm joined by two-time world champion Dennis Priestley. Tough one to call, Den.
Yes, it's a tough one to call. Yes, but I think Robert should have enough ammunition, Mark.
You've had some duels with Robert Thornton. I remember my debut when I joined the PDC. There was a couple of Players' Championships up in Irvine, and you played in both finals. And I think Robert, sorry to remind you, then came out winner on both. But
it did. I reminded him about that today, to be quite honest. Yes, 2 finals and 2 defeats. In fact, I can't recall beating Robert, to be honest, in competition.
30. Tough player to beat, and he hit the ground running in the PDC. Back-to-back wins, as I mentioned there in Irvine, beating Dennis in the finals. But he's been a Grand Prix champion, a UK Open champion, and the draw in the UK Open, he took out Gary Anderson, he took out myself, Wes Newton, Dave Chisnell, Phil Taylor in the final, and he really did a job on Phil Taylor that year, didn't he? And sometimes these champions, draws open up for him, Dennis. I don't think it ever opened up for Robert Thornton. He had to do it the hard way.
Well, the names you just mentioned there, yeah, he had to do it the hard way there. It's always hard if you play Phil Taylor in the final anyway.
That's where he thrives. Well,
100.
He won't play Phil Taylor in the final here, because that's who's next in the semi-final, the winner of himself and Kevin Painter. That's the match up next. And we finish the evening with Martin Adams taking on Larry Butler. But you made a good point, Dennis. Bit of a tough gig for these players who haven't played a lot of games to play the 2 darts in the same day. Look, nice problem to have if you're progressing, but managing your time in between is key, you have to say.
It is key. It's going to be very, very tiring for the older ones. That's why you probably look at the draw and look at the people what's still in it. The ones what's in their early 50s, it could make a big difference.
Yeah, and we make Robert Thornton a big favourite anyway for this match, just based on form. But Davy Prins, remember, played this afternoon against John Lowe. Yes, he wasn't really tested, but he's still been up there for a good 45 minutes or so.
47.
Robert Thornton, tucked away in his room. He got the job done last night against Trina Gulliver. And he's looking to open with a holder throw here.
12. Dave, you require 100.
Wanting 100. See what goes off here. Oh, yes. Can't see that one.
I'm disappointed.
That is chance.
You were tops man if the first one doesn't go in the treble then, or is it based on where you land?
Yeah, it all depends how it falls.
No score.
I used to always be a double 16, double 8 man at early parts of my career.
Davy Prins over to double 4. He's got to compose himself.
Got the double, but the wrong one.
12.
We said the early moments were important, particularly for Davy Prins, and he's had 5 darts for this opening leg. Yes, he's been let off the hook by Robert, but he had his chances, didn't take him, and had to break a throw for Robert Thornton. Bit of head shaking. Robert Thornton, very much a player who shows the motion, but opens up with a breaker throw.
Second leg,
yes, I think there was a little bit there where they were telling himself off. He was scolding himself.
Yeah, it was a good leg, just didn't pin the double as he'd like. But Robert Thornton still plays a lot of darts. He was a semi-finalist in the PDC Pro Tour last March in Germany. And because he was playing the Challenge Tour as well, he's been playing a lot of online league. I've actually played him a few times, and he's still got that bounce, he's still got that hunger. And yeah, Robert Thornton, I still think he'll return to the PDC Pro Tour one day. Still got the game. Well, then you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice saying you don't think you're beating Robert Thornton. Head-to-head 5 apiece.
All right. I can only remember the theory where he beat me. I know he beat me at the UK at Bolton. Cracking game. And then 2 finals, what you mentioned, but I can't recall the other 7. In fact, I can remember him beating me at Doncaster as well. So
100.
I'm a poor one for remembering.
You're really not sure where you have beaten then, are you? But I'm sure you have.
Aye. I can't remember the wins. I can remember the 4 losses. It's usually the other way around, Mark. You put the losses to the back of your mind.
I tell you where you forget games then. We used to play in Crondon Park, and you play players there you just completely forget about. I wonder if some of your meetings were there.
Yeah, I used to enjoy that. That was great practice. £50 a leg, yeah. I thought that was brilliant.
You forget great practice. It's the £50 a leg you like then, isn't it?
54.
Oh, yeah, £50 a leg just for practicing. And that was for a betting company, if I remember right.
Yeah. Good tournament back in the day. £100 a leg if you made the semis of your group. 200
right.
in the champions group.
Yeah.
Maybe Prins
100.
gets himself down a 146.
Robert, you require 180.
Not a spectacular start from both. Robert Thornton got the highest tournament average of the 8 players remaining. 93.65.
Dave, you require 146.
The highest average of the tournament individually was Kevin Painter last night. If he produces something similar, you'd expect him to get by Phil Taylor. An intriguing encounter at the conclusion of this match.
90.
John Law was actually
Robert, you require
praising
24.
this qualifiers. So they played really well.
Davy Prins, a tricky customer. Played in the World Championship.
12.
BDO on 5 occasions. Only 1 win. That was against Welshman Jim Williams.
Dave, you require 56.
More chances for Davy Prins here.
Well, if you can't, you're not finding a double.
Robert, you require 12.
Could go on a good run if you could find a double. It builds his confidence up no end.
Third leg, it's Dave to throw first.
I think the key is then Robert Thornton at the minute is averaging shy of 70, and if you're not taking advantage when he's doing that, it won't last for long. Thornton will get through the gears.
He will. He won't get into the 80s at minimum.
Davy Prins has missed a trick here, but started off with a 140.
Robert followed
180.
Thornton was berating himself. Like I said, he shows emotion, and he bit of head shaking off that last leg, but the 140 start for Davy Prins has woke Robert up. Here's Max of the match, looking for a clean sweep of set 1.
With a snarl on his face because he only hit the single.
57.
That's a sign of a man what means business. My wife texted me today. She says, I couldn't hear you when you were commentating. I says, I'm not surprised, you're 2,000 miles away.
Robert looking for the second max of the leg, but importantly takes him down to a finish, and a finish that would complete. Look, a clean sweep of opening set, but Robert Thornton won't be happy with his performance.
60.
But the paramount is he gets the job done, and so far so good.
These averages, Mark, I mean, you wouldn't get selected for your County B side, would you?
No, it's not a great start, but they will.
88.
They will rise. Robert Thornton's already rising. 12 darts thrown. He's onto a double. The best leg of the match so far.
134.
This could be a game where if
Robert, you require 36.
If Dave picked his game up, Robert would probably do the same.
He's not happy on that outer ring, Robert Thornton. He just not clinical enough. It's been a good performance in patches from Robert Thornton. There's been a maximum. The doubles cause him all sorts of problems, but they haven't been going for Prins either.
No, both players have suffered. This could be the one where it changes it. Yeah.
Game shot on the third leg.
Takes his chance today.
He'll be really pleased with that.
Fourth leg, it's Robert
Just
to
settle
throw
him down.
first.
Yeah,
Game
you're
on.
right, Key there. He needed a settler. He's got one. When you've been missing doubles, stating the obvious then, but just to hit one makes you feel that little bit better.
Does, yes.
95.
Thornton. The key is Davy Prins got to stay with Robert here, because the closer he is to Robert Thornton, the more pressure Robert will feel on those doubles. When you've been missing, you want a bit of time to relax, don't you? But if your opponent sticks with you, then we've both been there. If you're under pressure on doubles, if your player's right behind there, it ramps the pressure up, and Dave Prins is not out of this set yet.
95.
An old friend of ours has come today, John Gwynn.
Popped out to see him in between games. Great to see John Gwynn here. He'll be in the commentary box tomorrow for the semis and the final. Commentated on many a Dennis Priestley game, I'm sure.
Yes. Those dulcet tones of John Gwynn.
60.
You wouldn't have to see his face, you'd just tell by his voice. Distinctive.
100.
Well, Thornton has opened up a big lead again, but it's a lead of over 200, but a 140 here, and we know how there's not going to be a 1040, but Robert Thornton will just want to get rid of this, no message. There's too much drama in this opening set for Robert on the doubles.
76. Game shot on the first set. Robert Thornton.
Good leg. He needed a leg like that, Dennis, didn't he?
Yeah, that'll settle him down tremendously. We could see fireworks now. I'm expecting that to go into the
Second set, first leg. It's Robert to throw first. Game on.
He's crept it up to just shy of 80 with a hat full of missed doubles. But Davy Prins has just got to focus. He's missed a real big trick in that opening set.
Yes, if he could have took the advantage there with Robert playing below average. Probably he was shocked himself. It happens sometimes that you can't believe what they're not playing well.
Yeah, it does, and you panic yourself into the shot, and the visit again from Robert. Robert's actually played in a final on this stage. The Players' Championship finals, as you know, Denny played in both, was played in this arena for a couple of years. Paul Nicholson beat Mervyn King in one, and Phil Taylor beat Robert in the other.
Right.
96.
It means business in this leg anyway. 1-2-1 after 9, is it, Mark?
Yeah, it's a good leg. He's got a bit of bounce now, Robert.
Yeah.
He's got a spring, and there's the nod of the head when he's happy at the way he's playing.
Robert, you require 100.
You did call it then. You expected the average to get into the mid 80s, high 80s. It's creeping there now.
81.
Tops when he comes back.
Always a nice luxury to have then when you can just set up your shot, isn't it, on the 1-2-1? And he's done that.
Oh,
80.
Doesn't help, does it?
Robert, you require
to be able to
40.
hit the wires that thin, you've got to be a real good player.
Game shot on the first leg.
Yeah, all in vain. Robert Thornton.
Second leg, it's
on the charge.
First.
That's gone up 4 points.
Creeping up, and Robert Thornton, many people's favourite for the title, based on just
60.
On his form so far.
Yeah, his form, and just match practice is the key thing in it, and he's had the most of the players that were in the event, and it's starting to show.
80.
It's great to see the crowd and how much they're enjoying it and giving the respect to the older players.
Yeah, it's been great order, hasn't it?
57.
Real iconic venue in the world of darts.
And they've come realising that they're not going to see the PDC quality of play in the hundreds, but they've really appreciated it and given them a great order and applause at times.
44.
I've seen some exciting moments though. The Kevin Painter, Tony O'Shea game going into sudden death. Peter Manley making Phil Taylor wobble, winning that opening set. Martin Adams of all those big finishes. And we've still got the rest of this evening, semis and final tomorrow.
180. Robert, you require
See the sarcastic wave of the arms from Davy Prins. Where's that been, he says. Thornton. His foot on the accelerator. He wants to get the job done and get ready for semi-finals tomorrow.
$134.
Just let him know he's there.
Robert, you require 60.
Tops for Thornton.
Game on the second leg.
Coming sweetly now, they're
Thornton.
coming easy, aren't they, the doubles? That confidence you can build by hitting on first start and getting the job done.
Well, you called it, Dennis, when he hit that 76 to cap off the first set, which had a lot of woes on the doubles. You said he'd settle and get into his rhythm. He's certainly doing that now, and it's looking ominous, isn't it, for Davy Prins?
$140.
Going through events, then we're talking about playing a couple of games in the same day. Yes, obviously the bread and butter, the ranking events, but in terms of a big stage event, yes, the UK Open. Is any other events where you've had to play a couple of games in a day on the stage? And
well, the only one I can recall is the one we used to play at Bolton, the UK Open, with a lot of games, haven't we?
Yeah, that was the one. And the key thing was managing your time, because you could be the first game in the afternoon, the last at night, and it was that time in between. It's whether to lay yourself down or have a meal, relax, or stay on the practice board. Each player had a different routine.
Yeah, I remember one at periods. I'd qualified, and
127.
and I was on later on in the day at night time, and John McDonald said, "Hey, Dennis, hotel key, go and have a wash and brush up and lay down." Well,
41.
I opened the room, went in, got John straight on the phone. I says, "John, you better come up here. I think somebody's been in your room and robbed you." There were clothes everywhere.
On the second set.
Well,
what a mess.
Robert Thornton really went through the gears in that second set. His average was pretty poor off the first one, but too many missed doubles. But playing like he can now, and expect him to complete the job from here. Then it would be some turnaround if Davy Prins can get through this.
Yes, it sure would. I mean, we've seen what's happened in the last few legs. He's picked his average up 25 points, so you can tell that the doubles have been going in more or less first dart, which builds confidence and gets you settled. But you never know. This is darts.
Yeah, set play. In leg play, it's 6-1 Robert, but set play 2-0, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Game on.
And Prins has the darts here. He needs a confident holder throw here, just to give him something to work with. The comeback's got to start somewhere, but Robert Thornton, like you said, average up above 90 now. Real good set there. Blew Davy Prins away.
96. $140.
Robert Thornton in no mood to be hanging around in. Like I said, Robert Thornton played last night. He's had the afternoon
59.
to chill, get himself ready for this quarter-final, and it's showing. He's been the better player.
57.
I'm expecting Robert to get this set done in 50 darts or less.
Yeah, he's got a bit of bounce now, hasn't he? Prins has just got to give Robert something to think about.
99.
Regardless of what the outcome is for today, it's been a good event. Good tournament, victories over Paul Lim and John Lowe. Maybe a step too far, Robert Thornton, but he's not out of this yet.
Do you know, Mark, whether Dave's been in this situation with this crowd and TV before?
Well, he's played in the Lakeside on a few occasions, 5 appearances in fact. Then there's only been 1 victory there, and that was against Jim Williams.
59.
And he pretty much controlled that match. So the rule book, form book generally says when he's behind, he finds it hard to work his way back in.
So he has got that bit of experience, yeah.
A little bit of on-stage experience, but being 2-0 down to Robert Thornton. Will be tough. Just got to keep chipping away. Got to find this leg. Hold. It's on darts as well. On his darts, he needs to win this leg.
140.
Good darts and good darts.
He has had opportunities. He won the third leg of the opening set, but there was darts and doubles in legs 1 and 2.
48.
That's right. Let's just see if he pings it.
Game shot on the first
Confidence he
leg.
might gain from that could be a big turning
Second leg, it's
point.
Robert to throw first.
It wasn't just hitting the double, it was hitting the double when Robert was waiting on a 2-dart finish, so there was pressure.
42.
Just gone off the boil a little. We've seen it many times though. One goes off the boil, the other comes back firing better. Very topsy-turvy can be darts.
Robert Thornton back in there.
140.
Grimace from Robert Thornton. A better visit.
Just to tell the viewers, that darts is a very easy game if you're hitting everything you're going for. It's when you're on one of them days where nothing seems to be going right.
And that's when the nerves creep in, isn't it? And that's where your opponent gains confidence and can put you under more pressure.
Yeah, you doubt yourself. And
57.
Thornton very much greets every poor visit with a roar of disappointment.
100.
Shows the motion, gives it everything up there. There's Robert Thornton.
that's his way maybe of keeping him up to his, up to his task.
44.
Look, yeah.
Shuffling across, trying to open up the bed.
A treble there, he's took the throw off him, but he didn't quite find the treble. There and thereabouts.
100.
Last start.
Down from Robert. Davy Prins. Starting with a shot here though, Dan.
Yeah, he needs to put the pressure on here now. A 140. Put real pressure on.
He'll take the turn. He may go for a bullseye, 25. No,
60.
stayed up there.
Robert, you require 100.
Thornton will breathe a little easier there now on the 118. 18 for tops. Tops of 118. Great finish, Robert Thornton.
Sweet as a
Robert
nut,
Thornton.
as I say in Yorkshire.
Third leg, it's Dave to throw first.
He enjoyed that one, Robert. Davy Prins has to respond.
And he had 2 or 3 poor throws in that 501.
140.
Yeah, we commented on it, didn't we? He was starting to show his emotion, show his disappointment, but Robert got the job done. And if he can break here, he'd throw for the match, and that's what he must be thinking. Attack the Davy Prins throw, get the job done, get the match won with no drama, minimum fuss.
Yeah, and back to the hotel and rest for tomorrow.
60.
He's a true Scotsman, and he might just have a couple of bevvies before he goes to bed.
Well, if he wins, it'd be rude not to, isn't it? Celebration, but Robert Thornton is all business. He will want to be fresh as a daisy for tomorrow. He wants to win this inaugural World Series Championship.
You don't leave that, Dave, do you? Yeah. One on the floor.
Yeah, Robert Thornton, stay up there. Coming down, yeah, sensible. Unlucky, but it's the right shot. Cleared open bed, but Davy Prins needs to find something. He's running out of time here.
That's the trouble he needed.
100.
Just keeping his head above water, Davy Prins. Robert Thornton. See that reaction a lot.
Yeah.
Steps out of his stride, doesn't he, Dan? And
He's recovered with a lovely treble 19 there. It was a bad first start there. I'm surprised he didn't move over to the 18s.
126.
Yeah, or even if he goes for treble 19 and he hits 219, still 58.
Yeah.
70.
And his throw is under pressure here now.
120.
Robert leaves 56. 120 for Prins. Otherwise, he's on the brink.
See, it was a bad first start for him. I've seen players go for 2 balls when it's been covered like that.
Robert, you require
which seems
56.
a bit flashy, but
it's a clear open target, isn't it then? But to go one away, Thornton tops, and it is tops, and he knows how big a dart that is. Robert Thornton will now throw for the match and a place in tomorrow's semi-finals.
It's Robert to throw first.
How's the semis configuration tomorrow? Is it just a night session tomorrow? Semis and finals?
Best of 7 in the afternoon then. 2 semi-finals and the final.
Right.
Best of 7 as well.
So the night session is just the final?
Just the final, yeah.
I shouldn't be asking this. I should know, shouldn't I? You've done your own work, I haven't.
134.
Davy Prins won't go away. 2 treble visits to start the leg. He's at the point of no return. Needs to win these next couple of legs
100.
to get a set on the board and prolong this quarter-final.
Bad lie.
He's been very stubborn, hasn't he, Dan, with that? He should be switching.
Yeah, he should be switching. Can make massive difference. Yeah, massive
92.
difference if you've got the cover shot in your pocket.
Needs a 2 treble visit here. There's one. Good dart. That's a better dart from Davy Prins. He'll stay there. Well, incredible. I get it. If it's the 170, you get to stay on the treble 20. He leaves 167. You've got to switch around. But it was an open bed, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And they were ideally leaning upwards, weren't they, for that dart to kiss in from the second dart he threw.
He's under the shot here. Robert Thornton only leaving 150.
98.
And you'd expect to have a go.
Robert, you require
This is a good exhibition shot, Mark. You've done this many times. Oh, he's not gone 3 balls. I'm amazed. Only kidding, folks.
What, you're only kidding
73.
that? I've done it many a time, then.
Dave, you require 110.
I once did it with paper over the ball. Remarkably. I was so shocked.
Prins now 18 for double 16 to keep this match alive. And to break straight back. Big dart for Prins, is it?
Game
Yeah,
the 4th leg.
Yeah.
Dave Prins.
Credit to him. It's not been going his way, Davy Prins. To pull that one out the bag. Composure. This is the leg now.
Dave to throw first.
To win this 3rd set. Keep his hopes alive.
Could that leg be the turning point?
Well, it will plant some seeds of doubt in Robert Thornton's head, because Thornton, when he hit that 56, he was probably thinking, right, just go for the gears and get
137.
the leg won. But a 137 start from Davy Prins.
This is class.
180.
Great response.
Yeah,
from
you see
Robert
the
Thornton.
expression on his face as well. Just looked like he was chewing a wasp.
Nod of approval. But Prins still not going away.
95.
Unlucky.
Cracking 9 darts so far.
100.
Good turn. Robert liked that last start, didn't he?
Certainly did. It's a bit early to be switching, I think.
And he's not going to leave a finish, and that
33.
could be the change in this leg. Davy Prins had worked so hard in this set, really well in that previous leg to prolong, but Robert Thornton got the darts away from him again, and he's now 124 points away from a place in the last 4.
So last dart there, I'd have gone at 25 ball. Been treble, single, double.
Yeah,
60.
it's actually got away with it, hasn't he?
Robert, you require
No finish for Davy Prins, and can just lay up the shot. Treble 16 or treble 8. Double 8 to finish the job. And Robert Thornton does finish the job in style. A polished performance from